Okay, so this is a big one. As I was sitting here and I was asking God, okay, so what should I talk about next? Because I've been flooded with downloads, but I rarely get on here and record them. But just recently, I'm pushing myself to be more consistent with doing this because I have so much to say, but yet I didn't really know, how to get it out, or I really didn't have the patience. Let me be honest. I didn't have the patience to sit here and get the message out, and then I was blocking my own blessings because it's not like I didn't have things to share. It's just that I had to suffer my own ego death, and that is the next topic. When ego was, put before me, it was described as edging God out. And that means that false sense of who we think we are and who God says we are. That one, I don't know how much of a struggle I had with it. I do know it is a struggle for most. And because I fear God so much, I would double check to make sure I was in the right position with Him. And the church that I was brought up in, my family church, one of the messages that he would always tell the congregation was, what was it? Thou ought not think more highly of themselves than they ought to. And those words stuck with me. It kept me in a very, very humble place, I guess I should say, with God. To where it made it kind of difficult for me to accept. It made it hard for me to accept my position in the kingdom. I was woken up, but not yet ready. Because I didn't want to think more highly of myself than I ought to. So I found myself downplaying my position a lot. And I don't want to say I was afraid, but I was kind of afraid. Because when you're put in a certain position, you don't want to be wrong. You don't want to think more highly of yourself than you ought to, and you definitely don't want to be in a position that is not for you, coming in the name of God. It makes it so that you're terrified almost of making a mistake. It also makes it hard for you to fully understand the gifts that you have. Like, through my experience, I was able to recognize the gifts that I have, because the enemy will come and they will try to make you feel like you don't have the gifts that you have. Which will also make you question your position. And when you don't understand your position or the gifts that you have, the enemy wants nothing more than for you to not use those gifts. They will try to confuse you. They will try to rob you of those gifts. They will try to make you feel as if I don't know, I want to say adequate. I'm not sure if that's even the right word, but and then you come to realize that nobody tries to rob an empty bank. You start to realize how powerful you really are and who you are. Through the warfare, you start to understand your value. You start to understand how valuable you really are. You may not have all of the glitz and the money and all that stuff, because first, you may not have even known that you could obtain those things. And then it could be that the enemy made it so hard for you to obtain them so that you don't believe in yourself and so that you don't really awaken to your gifts. To make you not believe in yourself. But then something clicks. You start to see how people respond to you. You know, not seeing your own gifts in your own light. The enemy loves that more than anything, because other people can see it. The enemy can see it. But when you walk from a place of humbleness and you walk from a place of just purpose, I guess, you're very focused on your purpose. I didn't eat yet, sorry guys. The enemy can really use that. For me, I wouldn't understand where jealousy and envy would come from people that I loved. And I'm just walking around being happy, you know, spreading, you know, the knowledge and wisdom that I have that just was automatically downloaded into me. I'm just being me. I'm just being me. I'm being this instrument. Not understanding why I could feel the hate or why I could feel the jealousy in people's hearts towards me. I couldn't understand that. I couldn't understand why men would try to manipulate certain situations to keep me in their lives, the pure love that I have, that God uses me for, is a tremendous gift. It's a tremendous gift that I just did. It's unconditional love. It's an unconditional love that a lot of his children have, which is a really, really powerful gift. I just didn't recognize mine. So I know, the chosen ones, the ones that he has chosen, the ones that also carry this gift, can relate with me on what I'm saying. I know you guys can relate. I know you can. But before you get to that point, boy, you go through some really bad relationships.